Good afternoon everyone, my name's Jess and I'm a tutor here at Coding Kids. Welcome to episode 10. In today's episode we'll be doing a couple of things. First of all, we'll be showing you the solutions to the challenges we proposed at the end of the last video. Second of all, we will be extending our discussion on variables by talking about lists. We'll have a look at what lists are and how they're used, and in the next episode we'll show you how to use them. First of all, let's quickly go back to what we were working on at the end of the last video. If you'll recall, we made a program using two variables. These two variables store the values of two randomly generated numbers, and we had Scratchcat report what these two numbers were. Let's have a look at the original code. The first extension suggested was to compare the two randomly generated numbers to see if they have the same value. If they did have the same value, we wanted Scratchcat to report it, that we'd found a match. Let's do one thing at a time. First, let's check that the values of the two variables are the same. We use the equals operator in the operators category to check this. You'll notice that the equals operator is a Boolean statement. Recall that we talked about Booleans three episodes ago. They're truth values, so the Boolean statement you see will evaluate to true if the two numbers have the same value, and false if the two numbers don't. Alone, this statement won't do much, but let's think about the next part of this challenge. If these two blocks have the same value, then we want Scratchcat to report this. We can use an if-then block to do this. Using the above Boolean statement, we've created as the condition. There we go. We can then put inside this if-then block an instruction to make Scratchcat tell us that the two numbers match if they have the same value. You should end up with something like this. Now, what if you want to keep track of the number of times that two random numbers match? You can do this by creating an extra variable. Whenever your two numbers match, we can make the score variable increase by 1 by using the change variable by x block. Now, here's what your new code should look like. Now that we've gone over the solution for the last week's video, let's move on to today's topic, lists. Lists operate on the same concept as variables. You can use them to store information. There is one key difference between them though. Remember how we said that variables can only store one bit of information at a time? Well, lists can store multiple bits of information at a time. So, at any one point in time, a variable might be able to store the number 10. However, a list might be able to store the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In other words, if a variable is a container that can store one piece of information, a list is like one of those pillboxes that have multiple compartments for every day of the week. We won't have time for it in this episode, but join us for our next episode on Thursday, where we'll be looking at how to use lists. What we'll be doing is making a program that generates 5 random numbers in a list. If the number 19 appears anywhere in this list, Scratchcat will say 19 is in the list. If it doesn't appear in the list, then Scratchcat will say today's not my lucky day. So have a go at it yourself, and if you get stuck, don't worry. We'll be going through how to make it in the next episode. See you Thursday.